Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing. If this information interests you, please press the like and subscribe button and press the bell for notifications. Now, the two main negative perspectives on this information about Maitreya, about Benjamin Creme and so forth is, one, he's made up and he is a made up figment of Benjamin Creme's imagination. It was all made up, right? And logically, I can kind of see somebody's perspective of that because there's not a lot of evidence of that Maitreya is who Benjamin Creme says he was, or is, other than just the signs, the crosses of light in the homes, the healing waters, angel sightings, those kind of things, right? Which somebody could say, that has nothing to do with him, right? Okay, well, that's fine. I can kind of get that. I can kind of understand that. And time will tell whether Benjamin Creme was right and that Maitreya is who he is, or it was just a figment of his imagination all along. Now, I have had a lot of experiences with Maitreya, so I have maybe a different perspective on the guy that leads me to believe there's a lot of truth to what Benjamin Creme said. But again, you don't know me from anybody, so it's up to you to believe, Now, the other perspective is, of course, he's the Antichrist. He's the one that the Bible prophesied would come before Jesus, at the end, that day of days when the world is going to end, right? And he was going to fool millions and billions of people and try to steer them away from God and bring them closer to the devil or whatever they believe the Antichrist to be, right? That's who Maitreya is. So it's one of those two perspectives that you see when you watch videos about Maitreya. Now, my question is this. If you don't believe he's a figment of Benjamin Creme's imagination, you do believe he's 100% he's the Antichrist, why has he been on TV for nearly 10 years and nobody's even talking about him? That that would mean that the Antichrist has the worst publicist in the history of publicists, right? Worse than mine. You see what I'm saying? It would be a bold strategy to go out on TV as the Antichrist and not say anything to be recognized, not brandish themselves as anything special or nothing. Given the distractions that everybody has in their life, right? Even just entertainment on TV. You got sports, you got entertainment news and drama and stuff like this, and you have the political theater that's going on, and then here's the Antichrist not saying anything to be recognized. It makes absolutely zero sense as a strategy to do that. So that, to me, proves that Maitreya isn't the Antichrist. That's one of the reasons why, right? It's the same thing with the Space Brothers, right? UFOs, aliens, that kind of stuff. So if they truly were aliens, truly here to take us over, and their intention was nefarious, why haven't they done it yet? And yet there's evidence, video evidence every single day going out. There's testimonies going out where people see them. I've seen them and so forth. Why hasn't anything happened over the last few decades or longer and just taken us over then? Like the Borg in Star Trek. Why haven't they just, resistance is futile, just take us over then, right? It makes zero sense for them to do that as a strategy. So maybe they're not here to take us over. Maybe Maitreya isn't the Antichrist, right? Now, I guess then the other question is, which isn't addressing the two negative concerns about who Maitreya is, but why would Maitreya come out on TV and not really be seen, And I think tens and tens of millions of people have seen him already, but yet not recognized for who he is. Well, if he's speaking so quietly, so gently, to not create any kind of concern or alarm in people, would the Antichrist do something like that? I don't know. I just don't see what the purpose would be. It's kind of a waste of time to do that if you were truly trying to take people over. Now, the other intention might be that maybe he is more concerned about people seeing the truth and recognizing the truth of his message and his words more so than recognizing him. That sounds more Christ-like, to do than somebody who's selfish and wants to fool a bunch of people. So it stands to reason that if he's doing those kind of things, if he's not putting himself out there as anything special, he's just putting himself out there as just an ordinary person, and you either recognize him because he's saying it as, wow, there's something to this, what this guy's saying, that I see on TV, or not, right? Then it would kind of make more sense that he's not the Antichrist. Now, you don't have to necessarily believe he's the Christ or the imam mahdi or anything great. But I think Maitreya would even tell you that he only wants to be known as the teacher, because that's what he says. He doesn't want to be known as the Christ or the imam mahdi or the Messiah or the Sri Krishna or Kalki Avatar or whatever, which are names that he goes by, people, not he goes by, but names that people refer to him as. But yet, he's just kind of quietly talking to the people. Now, if we started to respond more to his message and start to put into practice what he's saying, then I think more would be given. But look at the world that we have today. Is anything really, are the people starting to kind of wake up? Yeah. But is it to the extent that it needs to really make the changes in the world? Not yet, right? Now, I think once people start to recognize the truth and the sanity of what Maitreya is saying, and then start to put it into practice, then we might see his message go viral on social media and so forth. And when it starts to take root in that way, there will be a time when he is out, open, known for who he is, inspiring and galvanizing humanity to make those changes, based on righteousness and truth, as the Buddha himself said 2,500 years ago. And that righteousness and truth is and was and always will be the fact that we are one, that we are one family, that we should be living and acting according to as such, and not as these is separate. And the structures need to change to reflect that. And that's what he's going to be telling us and instructing us and guiding us and teaching us on, is how to live our life to that truth. But it started with him being on TV, not saying anything to be recognized, just telling a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth there, maybe some other stuff that is more extra stuff, or not fluff, but extra stuff, right? And then a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth there, to kind of wake people up gently, quietly. Because he knows that is how we're going to change things over the next 1,000 or so years or more. That's the best way to do it. Not to brandish himself as something special. I would have a tendency to believe in what these fundamentalist Christians are saying, that he's the Antichrist, if he was out there saying, oh yes, I'm the Christ come back, I'm the this, I'm the that, then, or the false prophet, if that's what he was saying. So ask yourself that question, really, honestly, and try to answer it honestly for yourself. Why would somebody who's out to fool and take over the world not try to be recognized? Hope this helps. Remember to take action and help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos.